shouldn't ask for any additional provisions. And let us just open back up and continue to negotiate.
So the reason why I'm showing this is because I seen it yesterday, and everyone was saying that this was what's the word? Oh, it was AI. Because it was the things that he was saying. So I went ahead and grabbed it from last night just so you all can hear this. I know some of you all seen this on TikTok already. But yeah, so the Democrats has been fighting, talking about the Republicans are the reason why the government isn't open. Well, Mr. John Kennedy here came out and said exactly why the government wasn't open and the reason why they refused to do business with them on this bullshit that they got going on. So, if you all, have anyone ever seen this clip right here? It happened 2 or 3 days ago. Has anyone seen it? Let me see, can y'all hear me? Make sure y'all can hear me. Okay, Mocha says she haven't seen it. Okay, so this is it's 20 minutes long, but I broke it down to the last, I think, 5 minutes, okay? Last 5 minutes. And I want y'all to hear what he says now. So he's saying the Democrats want $1.5 billion, trillion, no, with a T. The Democrats want $1.5 trillion to let the government stay open, right? But he's about to show y'all what they had wanted.
For 6 weeks. Don't be scared of the Congresswoman. Don't be scared of the socialist wing of your party. I suggest the absence of a quorum.
Anyone else seek recognition? Senator Kennedy.
Yes, thank you, Mr.
They done changed some things around, so let me mute.
Don't cut me off, Fly. If Stewie wanted to be up here talking, he will send a request. Don't speak for him. Just continue it. Whatever you want to say, go ahead and say it. But if he want to come up here, he knows he's more than welcome to hit that request box. But he won't. He's been chewed up too many times up here. Just to let you know that.
Wanda, he gonna say I don't speak on Jamaica because I don't know what I'm. Yes, I do know. I know that you all are being cosplayed by Africa for sitting up here. You all country are horrible too. When we go to them resorts, pay all that money for them fancy resorts, you all cannot come nowhere near those resorts. And you all should try to gather people together and try to help fix Jamaica, baby, because it is horrible going through there. So please, don't tell me what I don't know. And I feel bad that you all are on this app showing people your hand for another country that don't care 50 colors about y'all. And did I lie? Are you all welcome in the AU? You all are not part of the African Union. Yeah. They said no.
No, they are not in the African Union.
Go look it up.
No, there's nothing to look up. But Jamaica is not in the African Union. Thank you.
Go look it up.
Neither is Haiti. None of them.
Listen,
they are not in the African Union. They do not want them. All they want is us. That they don't. Somebody got to mute you to stop you. They do not want all of you all. They only want us because your countries are not worth a dime. Let's be real. Y'all don't make any money. Even Jamaicans have to come over here and make money. Africans have to come here and make money. All of your countries are not worth anything. None of these places want you all. They only want us. Who are we? We are the greatest. Who are we? We are the blueprint. Y'all don't like to say it. We are the blueprint of what blackness is. If you want to call yourself so-called black, okay? It is us that are the blueprint. This small amount of us, I don't care if it's 3 billion Africans over there. You are not worth anything to your own continent, okay? Your own continent looks to us. You all look to us. We are that greatness, okay? It is us. We are the end-all, be-all. It can be 5 billion Africans, okay? You all are going to follow our trends. We don't follow any of your trends. You're going to follow our clothes, our music, our dances, our walk, our talk, our everything. It is about us, and you know it. And I don't know why none of y'all like to admit it.
Don't know, now you know.
Because it hurt their souls to know that Black America is the blueprint. We got the spending power. We have the spending power. And you don't have the spending power, Mo. Stop it.
I know. I'm not debating that. But so why are you worried about someone who you're doing way better than?
We're not worried about you, Mo. You come over here, you get in our way. You cosplay us. You speak for us. You get in our offices and you get in our offices and you act as if you are us. We vote you in to be nice, because we don't have any idea. That's why we're here now. We are bringing awareness that we will not be putting Africans, all of you Jamaicans, we're making sure that this stops. We are making sure that our people check the backgrounds of people to know that you all are not from the lineage, and you will not properly represent us as if you are from the lineage. That's why we are here. That is why I do my panels, so that we can speak about this stuff, so that when our children go in there to vote, they hear us talking on this platform now, and our children sit around us. We are all very much so aware, and our children can say, my mama, my daddy, I'm listening to the platforms, and I know when I go in that voting booth that I'm going to make sure that I have checked the background of the people that I'm voting for. These people do not represent us. We do not want them in our offices, okay? We seem to be doing better with a white tea person in office beside picking y'all.
Amen and amen again.
Good morning, everyone.
Very well.
Actually mentioned politicians.
Oh, that was cute, that butterfly. Thank you. Thank you for the gift, y'all.
Regardless if
Thank
they're African or
everybody.
not. I don't think that's right.
Good morning.
You cannot hold Africa responsible for politicians. We all know politicians.
If you didn't get in our, if you didn't run for our seats, then we're going to hold you accountable. If you go and you run to get in our seats, and then you get in our seats and you're not representing us, we're going to hold you to that. We're going to bring awareness that it should not be happening no more. No more Obamas, okay? No more of this stuff. No more whatever that guy is down in Florida, Gordon, the guy that's here in Michigan that tried to run for governor, trying to run for governor off of the premise of I'm going to get rid of Black History Month. Get out of here. No. Mr. Nigerian, you won't be getting this seat. And the white tee is the ones that blocked him from that. Just off that garbage principle. Y'all don't stand for us. We are not going to keep on pretending. We're not going to keep turning our backs and acting like y'all are with us. We are going to speak loud about it. From here on out, go run for office in Nigeria. Get those criminals out of there. Ghanaian, Gambia, get all of those criminals out of your office. Stop coming over here trying to represent us. We don't need y'all. You can't fix what's going over there in Africa. That means you definitely shouldn't be over here trying to fix a damn thing. Because you can't fix and you don't want to fix it. You don't want to get along with each other. You can't fix nothing for us. You do not represent us. We do not want y'all acting like you represent us. That is it.
Wani, and like you just said, me personally as an African, I support that idea of if you find out someone is in power that's African and he's not actually, he's not representing you guys to the right way, I think it's your right for you guys to kick whoever you want to kick out of that position. Me personally, I think the majority also will actually, support that because we know how politicians behave. We don't trust them. We know because their policies also affect the Africans anyway. So at the end of the day, holding Africans accountable for what politicians are doing, I don't think it's right. But I do support you in terms of, fighting against them and they are corrupt and whatever they do because they don't benefit the Africans anyway. So they only benefit themselves and their families. So to that degree, I do support that idea, and I think you're right.
Hello everyone, this is Dag. I wasn't sure really when to start talking. I wasn't aware of the group rules. If it's okay to keep talking, I will.
Tell us where you're from, please.
Well, yeah, I'm originally from Sierra Leone, West Africa, but I live in Indiana. I'm here in the U.S.
How long have you been here, if you don't mind?
This is my 11th year.
Okay.
Right. So I'm active duty military, something I do out of passion. I served before coming to the States. I just felt I could continue serving. But I really appreciate the fact that such a forum exists, so we will get to know where the problem lies, like get to learn each other's culture, like straight off the bat. I found out there was this feud, for lack of a better term, between us coming from Africa and you here, born and raised here. And about 2 years ago, that broke my heart. That was actually during Black History Month that time. And I was wondering, why do we have to divide ourselves or allow somebody from outside dividing us? Because that's the agenda here. That's the hidden agenda that I believe that we keep playing into. We are literally playing into their hands.
If you don't mind, who's from the outside? Who are you talking about on the outside?
So no specific forces here, right? It could be politicians, it could be people who don't like to see us together as a people, as a race. And there are many factors. I don't want to pinpoint names, right? May I go ahead?
Yeah, but I would like to know who's these people.
I just said an example is politicians.
Okay.
Right. Because they know how powerful we can be as black people when we are together. And I know somebody mentioned Black Wall Street, and that's the closest example I can find of black solidarity, black economic freedom, black power, black independence, right? But then I would like to hurry up and make my point, so I free up the forum for anybody who would like to ask follow-on questions or roast me. I can take a good roasting. By the way, I have a thick skin. So I've talked about the feud, Africans against Africans. This is a common trend. A few years ago, there was this feud between South Africans and Nigerians because South Africans believed Nigerians were taking their jobs, and that was just an example I was citing. So even in Africa, we're fighting against each other. So if that fight continues in America and other parts of the world, we are, I believe, playing into the agenda of that divisiveness. In Sierra Leone, where I'm from, we have Lebanese traders, right? Of course, from Lebanon, some from Syria, who are holding the best businesses, I would say. These people come to Sierra Leone, they have the loans, they have more respect than even the Sierra Leoneans have, having been through over 10 years of civil war. So you are growing up in a society where you were born and raised, but you still feel like you are inferior because somebody from another land is getting the benefits you fought for, you're supposed to have. So I feel your pain in that area. And I believe that most of us coming here either fail to learn your culture or we fail to see life from your perspective. Because there are many factors that will go into why somebody born and raised here will not want to go to school and get the degrees. It's not like they are stupid. No, nobody's stupid. But they still probably are dealing with traumas from the past, from the ancestral age. Like, you have to heal through that kind of thing before you can actually say, let me focus on the future. Let me provide something for the generations coming after that, right? We have to do better. We have to come into these conversations with an open mind to learn each other's perspective. Because I kid you not, I think I feel that as well, learning exactly what the African American has been through. Well, history, of course, has shown that, but you can only learn so much from the books. There's so much they don't teach you from the books. So it takes talking to one person. It takes hearing all of you pour your hearts out for the past few hours. And I must say, I've been so ignorant. But then it's so good to even know that, yes, you feeling those pains, feel such about us because same has been given back. Like, you've come in contact with Africans who look at you, who look low on you, who see you as inferior. And it goes both ways. But that should not be happening. It is okay to want to talk to somebody because you don't know them, right? And I'll try to go to the prompt so I can answer that really quick. The first prompt here is, well, up to a few minutes ago, I don't believe you should be identifying yourself as something you are not. That's an imposter thing. So no, if you are not born and bred African American, you don't identify as such.
Well,
and like you all have suggested,
African American, but that's a big disrespect. Please stop calling us African American.
No, I'm making a general point, ma'am. If you got that, I was just making a general point because the argument here was Africans identify themselves as African American. I'm buttressing the point, if you actually got that point, that no African should be identifying as African American if you are not African American. That's the point I was trying to make, right? So yes, it goes to say, click the other parts of the form if you are filling a form and explain, okay, I'm from Africa. Nobody should be identifying themselves as something they are not. As far as most Africans truly wanting solidarity, well, I have not conducted any research to get enough samples to say if most Africans already don't already. And this might be something unique with your case. You may have met many Africans who don't support solidarity with African Americans.
Well, he look like he got a weight problem. He can't wait to eat.
I've been on in my career.
Yeah, it's gone. I was looking at cars. cars in the middle of the mayhem.
We have been able to confirm that we do have 19 souls.
I don't know why I don't know how to flip it. So I gotta figure out how to flip stuff. Let's see. Yeah, that was tough there, Jimmy. It wasn't nothing left of it. There wasn't nothing left. Let's see, I'm done with John.
Yeah, man, they know how many people was at work that day. I don't even know why they capping like that.
I'm Wani. I said, what's your lineage?
I'm Creole, Gypsy, and Black American.
Okay, so what?
Black Native.
Black Native? Are you trying to say you are indigenous?
My folks is, yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Can you mute up?
Okay.
Thank you. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Okay. All right, thank you. So yes, I believe that the life, lineage, history, lifestyle of a true Pan-Africanist is one that seeks solidarity, because that was one of the foundations of the movement itself. Like as of many from different parts of the world, the Caribbeans or here in America or in Africa, wherever you find yourself in the diaspora, we seek solidarity because we are only stronger and better and a force to reckon with when we see, think, and support each other. We cannot go anywhere further if we continue to look at each other differently, if we continue to hate on each other. It is okay to disagree with people. You disagree with siblings, yes, some people you just can't stand their guts. But as a Pan-Africanist, you want to exemplify that true black excellence, saying, I don't care what you call me, I don't care what you think about me, I am black, I'm true black, I love my brothers, I love my sisters, and I'm going to be there for them when they need me. And it's unfortunate, like some of you have shared that, yes, Africans don't support you as we're supposed to. And I believe that at some point, once we continue these dialogues, once we continue to talk and air out those concerns we have, we will begin to acknowledge that and see how best we can support each other, because we need each other. I kid you not. And one of the common questions I've had tonight was, and I'm almost done, why do you all keep coming here? Well, I can't say why every African comes here. I will tell you why I came here. I went through 10 years of civil war in Sierra Leone, actually grew up in that era, lost count of how many times I was killed. So some people come here based on asylum. Well, the U.S. has a diversity visa lottery program as well, where you play, of course, the lottery, and then if you're qualified, the interview, give you a visa, you come here. A lot of people want greener pastures. I did not leave Africa to come here so I can hate anybody. I'm here on a mission to fend for myself, for my family, but you all are right. We have some work to do. We cannot keep running away when we can turn around and face the fight ourselves. But we cannot face the fight ourselves when we are divided as a people. So whether we are here in America or Australia or wherever you find yourself, or when you're back home in Africa, we cannot fight if we are not united. You can see the French West Africa are on a roll, are taking back that part of the continent. And the revolution is moving moving forward. And once they get to inject that, you see Africans fighting for Africa, you make your country attractive so somebody can go there on tourism, somebody can want to go and share. No country is an island. Like, you need each other. You need something from each side. So I appreciate you all for the opportunity to express myself, and I do look forward to your feedback and any questions you may have. Thank you.
So are you saying, like, so you said you came here, were you like an asylum, were your family members like an asylum seeker? Is that how you came over?
No, I came over through the diversity visa program.
Can you explain that a little bit to the people?
Yes. So the U.S. government gives away 50,000 visas to countries around the world that have the least amount of immigrants in the U.S. And all that goes to what you're coming to do. For me, of course, I told them I'm passionate about the military because that's what I was doing. But that was not why they gave me the visa. They said, okay, you can be of use to us. You can be a respectable person to live in the U.S. and work in the U.S. So yes, that was why and how I came. So about the visa, anybody can read up on that, but it's something they do every year. They play that lottery every year. So lots of Africans here came here through that program. Of course, the other way is seeking asylum.
Basically, you lied on your visa to be in the U.S.
How will you know I lied?
I'm asking.
No, I did not lie. I won the lottery, went for an interview. Say again?
Did you join the military?
I'm in the military.
When you going back home?
When I'm done with my service obligation.
When you say we need to come together as a people, who are you talking about? Us or your people over there on that
continent? I'm talking about my people, you over here.
We're not your people.
Okay, I respect that, but I see you all as my people.
You can't see me as your people. I'm not your people, and we're telling you you're not our people.
I respect that.
I only came. Hey, Wani, I'm sorry.
Hey.
I only came up here because when I was listening in the comments, the guys, y'all said that the guy was down in Australia, right? The African guy in Australia.
Who said that? I didn't hear. I'm sorry.
With CR7.
Yeah.
You do know you on a land of oppressed people down in Australia, right? Do you hear me, CR7?
Oh, yeah, sorry, you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm talking to you. You on a land.
So, yeah, I'm in a land of oppressed people, yes?
Yeah, and Wani, I've been on panels and listening to Australian people complain about Africans in their country.
Oh, yeah,
you lie. You lie.
Hey, Wani.
That's
Mama,
it's
not a lie.
Why?
No, I've also heard that. I know that. Go ahead.
Australian Aboriginals complain about Africans coming to their land doing the same thing they do to us, undermining them.
They absolutely complain. They have a whole platform that I've been on myself where they are talking about Africans. Yes, they do.
So hold on. So if you said Australians Aboriginals complain about Africans coming here and doing the same thing that we do, yeah. So what
y'all do on every continent that y'all go on? Y'all go.
Africans are not in politics here. You literally don't see Africans.
But y'all still.
Wait a minute. You said Africans are not in politics. Where?
In Australia, you really you hardly see an African.
It doesn't have to be the politics. So Queen Kong.
Aboriginal and Straight Islander box, you cannot as an African because the features are different. It's clearly, when they see you, they know this is an Aboriginal and that's African. It's clearly. So she's
It
lying.
don't matter. They are complaining about your immigrant Africans on their land and undermining them and siding with the YT people, which y'all do on every place y'all go. Y'all do it everywhere y'all go. Y'all undermine the people of that land, which y'all do to us over here. Now, Wani, I heard an Aboriginal Australian say that Africans is nothing but the YT lapdog. Out their mouths.
Yes.
So how is African cosplaying Aboriginals when Aboriginals live in town and mostly Africans they all live like in suburban areas. Aborigines they have their own towns where it's just Aborigines that live there. The only time you go there like visit and stuff, it's just Aboriginals.
I mean, from the chat, you okay. I'm just saying, as far as when I get on here, usually when I get on the panel, I can hear more clear.
Tell you what, let's see.
Ethiopia, all that. Well, that don't have nothing to do with us. Okay? So, no, we not the same. We not. And actually, we built where you from and gave you independence.
Where I'm from right now?
Yeah, where you from?
I'm Native American. I'm Hopi Native American.
Oh, you a Hopi?
Yeah.
So you from the Red Kachina?
I'm Hopi Native American.
You don't listen. So you from the red or blue or orange Kachina?
You don't need to ask me all that, bro.
He don't.
Clearly, I don't know, bro. Clearly, I don't know, bro. I told you I'm Native American, bro. Come on, bro. I told you what I believe in, bro.
You Hopi is what you're telling me, right?
Sorry, what did you say, bro?
You saying you Hopi, but you don't know what the Kachinas is?
Oh my God, bro.
All right, let's take this slow. This gonna be interesting. This gonna be real interesting. I'm trying to process how you saying you Hopi, so I'm listening to you because I'm not saying you not Hopi, right? I'm just trying to process what you're saying. You said you Hopi, so okay, elaborate.
Bro, I'm a boxer, bro, too, bro.
Okay.
What does that have to do with anything?
You talking about Hopi, though, right? Right?
You say you're a boxer?
Yeah, man.
Well, you should know some self-control.
I should know some what?
Self-control.
Oh, nah, bro, I'm just letting you know, bro.
Yeah. So everybody else has the opportunity, has the leverage to travel wherever they want to travel.
I travel a lot of places and I come back home, sir.
But wait,
I travel a lot of places and I come back home.
Why can't African? But like the brother just said, he cannot go home until he finishes what he's doing. So Africans also have
he
goals.
said the first time before he said that he said
to go home. They go home when they feel like it.
He said he actually also said that his country was at one time at a civil WAR, and it was everything going on over here. Now let's tell you what we've been through. We've been through redlining. What else we been through? Segregation. We've been through mass incarceration. We've been through the hard candy epidemic, and we ain't flee nowhere. They took jobs from us, wouldn't pay us right, but we ain't go nowhere. We still here. We still fighting.
Hold on. The last time I checked.
Anywhere you Africans go, y'all are no benefit to nobody. Y'all are takers. Y'all are not givers.
If you own a passport, you have the right to travel, right?
And travel and take your ass back home.
But I'm saying, that's something. If you have a passport, you have the right to travel.
I travel and I go back home.
As we speak, there's Americans actually here in Australia. I wonder what they do here, because they live here as we speak. There's a lot of Americans that have come across here. So I don't know what they're doing here, since America is...
It's very foreign between to see black Americans somewhere else, country like Australia.
The only country that people go to, Americans don't go to other countries. So I wonder why they're here. Even in Australia, there are plenty of Americans, black Americans that have come across.
It's not plenty.
We make friends, because outside of America,
it's not plenty.
Other places, black people are all friends, except America. You go to Europe, black people are friends, except America. So I wonder.
You say where?
I said black people.
Are you gonna act like the Africans and the black? Let me see, the Caribbeans over there in Europe are not fighting each other, like having big problems. Excuse me, are you being real here? I don't know. Maybe you haven't been to Europe or something. But there's a huge problem because Caribbeans over there are being put above Africans in Europe. Okay?
Okay.
Let's be real.
So okay, I understand. So Caribbeans are put above Africans, right?
In Europe, yes, they are favored. They are told that you all are told that Caribbeans have, done certain things that, for themselves, and that Africans are not doing anything. Yeah, there's a big issue in Europe between Caribbeans and Africans. So I don't even know why Caribbeans, side with you all against us, because I do know that goes on in Europe.
I've been to Europe, nothing like that with the Caribbeans. Like I said, you can have one or two people, they have issues, differences, but nothing like that. Nothing like that.
No, it's a big thing over there.
It was all done. That was all done.
Just like how you all are favored with the white tea here, the Caribbeans are favored over there with the white tea. And that's who you think you're fooling.
And that's how the Australian Aboriginals feel in Australia.
The white tees typically select a certain group, and they use that group to bother another group, and that's what they're doing.
We don't have problem with that. As African, we don't have problem with that. If they choose the Caribbean,
you said as Africans you don't have a problem with that.
If they choose the Caribbeans, as you said, it's fine. We're not gonna fight over who the white team man choose. It's not like pick me game. We don't do that type of game. Pick me. We don't do that type of game.
Yeah, y'all do though.
We're not doing that pick me game. If they choose the Caribbean, it's fine. They choose them. I'm very sure they will choose whoever that has a credential to do certain job. It comes to qualification. You work hard, you get it. So they must have worked hard for whatever position they have for them to get it. And it is fine. As an African, I support that. I don't support laziness.
Where you are, CR7? Where are you from?
I just told them I'm in Australia.
Well, where are you from?
I don't support laziness.
Where are you from initially?
I'm from Sierra Leone.
Oh, you from Sierra Leone too?
Yeah.
Ronnie, where are you getting this information from? Because this is far from the truth at all.
Used it in about 5 years. But just relearned. They had some updates. And it's up. But back to the topic. Okay, we got Earth. Yeah, y'all more than welcome. Come on up. Let's get it popping. Let's have some conversations.
So, what you got, Jimmy? Oh, I forgot we can put. Let's put Jimmy on a big screen.
Yeah, Jimmy at work getting it in.
What are you trying to show? Oh.
You need to get Jimmy to
Hey, Mr. Fix It.
It's just loud today.
Yeah, I need to get you to me and you need to get together because I need to do some fabricating. I want to add some turbos to this supercharger, but go ahead.
Oh. What you doing? What you gotta do?
Oh no, I'm putting an ad in the turbo. Oh, you talking to him? Oh, he about to whale some shit.
I was gonna ask, what y'all thought about the live last night with Tariq?
Yeah, I did. I was over there with that bullshit.
I see you was trying. Did you request that? Fatty said they wouldn't let her.
I did, but it was 30 people in the room, so I was like, fuck that.
They wasn't letting nobody up. They said like they had to tell him like let him up, SBA up, because they was just so hyped up. Like calm down.
As soon as he left, they all left.
Yep.
They was
500 people in there.
And as soon as he left, it dropped to 88, and then they started talking about his ass too. I was like, damn, why ain't y'all say all that shit while he was here?
Why he was there, punk ass. But my thing is, like, he said what I've been saying. That's what I've been telling y'all. I mean, he believes in the out of Africa theory.
Yeah, he believes in that.
That's what it comes down to, the out of Africa theory. And then FBA basically just means a non-immigrant. I've been saying this. Everybody else putting other shit on it. But like I told y'all, I've been around him. I know how it started.
Lumping all of us in that shit. Like,
that's what he's basically saying.
Lumping me in that shit, man. I'm not no.
But listen, he did say, like, yeah, there were people here, right? And that some people got bought over, but it was the people who were here that got enslaved. That's what he said. But they was so hyped up talking over him that, like, and that's what happens. Like, let him answer the question so you can get the clarity, because a lot of the shit that's being said, people are putting on him, but he clearly ain't saying it. Now the issue is the Africa thing, but
they not letting that go.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. You know, I really don't. And I've been saying this even as a mod in his chat. I do not agree with that. I don't agree in no out of Africa. But, you know, I respect the space. You know, it is what it is. People still believe that. But I thought it was interesting. It was good. I thought it was
good. That's how Dane used to be. Back in the day when Dane used to come on your panel, the whole world used to fall out the sky. But then we found out if Dane coming to your panel, Dane's about to be messy. He go to other people's panels to be messy, and then he stick to business on his panel. So it was like, oh nah, you ain't coming over here with that bullshit no more. But that's how they do. Yeah, they use your page for the bullshit.
But you know, I said something is up, because like, why? I guess there isn't like a troll page where they play like his lives, but that's not him. But I'm wondering why, like, you know, he over here now.
And I wonder.
Yes, because the information is over here. So it's just, I don't know, we'll talk about on the back end what I really think, but I don't know, that was interesting to me to see that. Like, so now you're over here. I wonder why, because that information is over here, you know.
Don't forget your daily heart meets, y'all. No, it's only a few people.
Hey, Glenn, we'll shut your lying ass up. Have a good night. Fuck you.
Yeah, get your beanhead ass off my live, boy. Boy, I heard. That boy hurt. Boy, y'all better quit reading them Harry Potter books out here. Y'all don't know the difference from real or fake. Y'all don't. How you in the government shutdown if you don't know the difference from the people they own government? Right? How you don't know, how he don't know he in a government shutdown because Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, they sold y'all sovereignty to China last year. Nigga, this shit to China last year. Nigga, this shit been done. So, you in a government shutdown in your face or in your head and in your face, and you don't even know how to operate because you ain't me. Like, folk finna wait on, he said he waiting on GTA 6 to come out. Oh, tap the screen, Grand Rising, y'all. How y'all doing on this beautiful Saturday rising, man? Everybody, it is an open pedal, man. We keep it classy, respectful. I'm a very chill person. Just don't yell over me. I'll be trying to talk with everybody. My voice kind of low, you know, so actually slow down if you can hear me. Just slow down for a little bit so I can process what you drop it down. You know what I'm saying? Because me, I pull stuff that I break down.
him, but Father lost. And I don't think we've done a...
You have prayed to let thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. Find millions that are willing to stand with me for this truth.
Father's Kingdom's played in over 25 film festivals around the country. And I don't think we've done a Q&A yet where somebody hasn't said, why have I never heard of Father Divine? And I said, well, that's why we made the movie. Father Divine was an evangelist in the early part of the last century. He made himself enormously wealthy, telling people he was God and getting them to give them their worldly possessions and any other wealth that they would come by throughout the time they were members of his organization, the Peace Mission Movement.
Peace, everyone. Everybody happy? So am I.
They couldn't drink, they couldn't use drugs, they had to work, they had to be self-sufficient, they couldn't use profanity, and they couldn't have sex. They weren't allowed to be with members of the opposite sex, which means they couldn't really continue their religion, which is why now there's not that many people left.
The people here are 80 and 90 years old. All of those followers are not here today. The thought comes to my mind, what is the future of the Peace Mission?
Father Divine had 2 marriages. The first Mother Divine, Penina, disappeared. Nobody will say what happened to her, although today they'll say they know where she's buried. Father Divine was in his 60s in 1948 when he married a 20-year-old white woman from Canada. Mother Divine, who passed away March 4th, 2018. This was a very bold step. A black person and a white person were not allowed to marry at the time. It was against the law. And these are the things that added to his character. He's crossing racial lines. He lives like a king, and he did. And people would just say, he must be God. Father was decades in advance of the civil rights movement, and nobody knew who he was. And he was for equal rights, not just between the races, but between the sexes. You know, women had high positions in his organization, and he claimed to have millions of followers. But even if he had a fraction of that many followers, it would still be hundreds of thousands, not just nationally, but internationally. Many of the followers changed their names because they thought it would be more positive in Father's image. Many of them are called Happy Sunshine, Mary Peace, Miss Faith, and they think that that gives them more of an inner peace.
My name is Meekness Faith. Now, that's a big job to handle. The meekness of God and the faith of God. But I look to Father for my strength to be able to exercise those qualities.
Father started growing when he started giving away food. And it started in New York. And he would have enormous banquets where people would get in line to eat.
To those of you that are daily attendants, you realize this is not something out of the ordinary. This is a daily occurrence.
And this was during the Depression. I guess he found that that was his way of expanding his organization, and it worked because it expanded significantly. He had homes all over the country, enormous ones, mansions, but he was based in New York, in Upper Manhattan.
They were really sanctuaries for those who wanted to be sheltered in a real wholesome, quiet atmosphere.
Men had to sleep on one floor and women on another floor, so you couldn't stay in the same room with your spouse, but that was Father's rule too. He had one follower that had a falling out with him, and they wanted all their possessions back. And Father said no. And they sued him, but Father lost. If he was found in New York, they would arrest him and force him to pay this woman. So he moved his organization to Philadelphia, and they were in Center City, Philadelphia for a good time. And then they bought Woodmont, which was an enormous 75 acres in Gladwin. They moved in 1954, 1955, and they're still there. The followers are still there today. The Divine Lorraine was the first integrated hotel in a major city in the United States. It's spectacular because they put a lot of money to bring it back. At that time, it was one of the nicest hotels in Philadelphia, and blacks were welcome. And there was also a restaurant at the top on the ballroom and downstairs. It's a very inexpensive food. And now it's come back and it's magnificent. Members of the Peace Mission will not say that Father Divine died because he's God and God can't die. But he left his body in 1965. And you can go visit Woodmont, and you can go to the shrine and you'll see Father and Mother. They believe Father Divine was God. If you accept that premise, that people have the right to believe what they believe, how they believe, any way they want to, as long as they're not harming anyone, then you have to respect the people who are doing it. I didn't fully understand their conviction to believing that Father Divine was God, but I believed in their belief.
You know what I find most attractive in a man? When he take care of himself. Blue Chew is simple. Everything's online and delivered right.
This man is gay, y'all. Out of 4 years of us being in a relationship, this man got caught sucking. And I'm on the back of him boyfriend truck right now.
Alright, what's up with it, y'all? So look, man, I'm back again with another video right now. Look, the title of the video says that she found out that her baby daddy was DL, which means down low. A lot of dudes are being exposed in this day and age for being down low. And I don't understand why, because we living in a day and age where people will accept you for being who you are. All that lying about shit is weird to me. You in there getting your back broke and throwing your spine.
Of wanting to get rid of us today.
1995's Tales from the Hoods, Doll's Revenge wasn't just about tiny dolls chasing a bigoted politician. It was a prophecy.
An actual prophecy that can serve as the proverbial writing on the wall about what happens when America refuses to confront its history of slavery, bigotry, and now authoritarian rule. Have you watched the news lately?
I'm Hyped.
And I'm Cherie.
And you've discovered Axiom Amnesia.
We want to thank all of the supporters who helped to make this video possible. If you want your name to appear alongside these contributors, make a one-time donation of $5 or more via our website at axiom.app, Cash App, or you can head on over to patreon.com/axiomamnesia to enjoy all of the benefits of becoming down, go and watch the breakdown. Like I said, it's linked in the description because it's going to be different than what we're talking about today. So just, you're going to get some extra nuggets if you watch that as opposed to this, because we're going in a different direction with this, because we recorded that back in, I think, 2023. So a lot of things have happened in the last couple of years that are pertinent to updating it. So the background, when we talk about Tales from the Hood, it dropped in 1995. And so it spoke to policies like systemic racism, police brutality, and corruption. But this segment hits even harder today, the doll segment, because this racist politician in power flaunts himself. He's flouting history, he weaponizes nationalism, and he uses patriotism to shield himself. And it really reads like a prediction of our current political climate.
But this doll, it's a way station for lost souls.
So the first introduction we get to these dolls in this story is when Mr. Sims comes out and he shows this doll, and he's like, this doll is a way station for lost souls. And it's basically a way for these souls to survive. It gives them a body to survive in when, terrible things have happened to them, such that their actual body may not be able to be used for that purpose.
Right. He said it's when the soul is displaced. But one of the things that happened was he slammed down the casket top, and then the doll fell, but it fell right into a chair. And it was sitting down. So it probably decided that it wanted to just sit down and not just fall over.
This doll is a place for the soul to survive.
So Mr. Sims finishes up by saying that he found that doll in a house in the South.
I found this doll in a house in the South.
And it's an amazing thing. And then we're morphed into this whole tale. So our first introduction to this politician is with this stupid ad.
Affirmative action, reparations, all mean one thing.
And the ad is playing, and it sounds just like the political ads that we're used to hearing, and it is just as ridiculous as some of the ones that we hear now.
Another qualified individual won't get a job.
But it's basically talking about affirmative action and how, people who, the right people who deserve it and have earned it, aren't getting what they need because they aren't the right color kind of thing.
Simply because he's not the right color.
It's a commentary that we've seen throughout all of these the tales, a commentary on what is being told, what is being fed to the minds of people. And just as this sounds ridiculous to anybody who has a clue, so should this ad sound ridiculous, but there'll be people who eat it all up.
It is based on these ads from back in the day of a politician by the name of Jesse Helms. And he had this ad that they called the Jesse Helms Hands ad. And it basically show hands reading a letter or some foolishness. And this is just what they're talking about in the letter.
And you were the best qualified, but they had to give it to a minority because of a racial quota. For racial quotas, Harvey Gantt. Against racial quotas, Jesse Helms.
For those of you who don't know, Jesse Helms is, he served as a senator from North Carolina from 1973 to 2003. And so you can just imagine plenty of the ridiculous stuff that he came up with. But he, just generally speaking, opposed civil rights. He opposed disability rights. He opposed environmentalism. He opposed feminism. He opposed gay rights. He opposed affirmative action. He opposed access to, women's health and things like that. So, yeah.
Want us to cover your favorite movie ASAP? A one-time contribution of just $50 or more to Axiom.
Or you a deep dive on demand with your name listed
as color, religion, sex, national origin, right? And he said that the contractor would take affirmative action to ensure that applicants are employed and that employers are treated during employment without regard to their race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. That was what it was. And then, it was put into the Code of Federal Regulations, right? And it said that if you're administering a program regarding some recipient that had previously discriminated against persons on the grounds of race, color, or national origin, the recipient must take affirmative action to overcome the effects of their prior discrimination. So being against it is basically being against fair treatment of people. So when these people come out, we got to realize this was in the 60s and 70s when they were railing against it because it was the same racist people who didn't want other folks to have a chance. So that is the basic history of that. But then nowadays, there's these other programs to try to combat the inequity and all of that stuff, and they use those same arguments.
And the insinuation is always that the person who's in the position is incompetent, and that a good white person was passed over.
Of that.
Yes.
Yeah. And so one of the things that we learned from the civil rights movement is that they took on these, the college admissions and stuff like that. So back in the 70s, right after the Civil Rights Act and all of that had passed, there was this guy, Bakke, who sued the regents of the University of California because he wasn't admitted because of age. But he said this thing was basically, it's because I'm white. You know what I'm saying? And the Supreme Court ruled on it and basically ruled against the regents of the University of California. But they said because their program wasn't implemented right, but it still held that, the Civil Rights Act was constitutional. And that's why they keep using these because they learned from the civil rights movement about the legislation and fighting against the laws to get what they want, right? Which led into the 2020 the 2015 decision by the Supreme Court where Scalia was just basically like, black people need to go to lesser schools because they're not good enough for white schools. And you can look that up and listen to him say it.
And, just on that note, because we've already covered like two things. One, go to lesser schools. You're not.
Never sue the other driver after a car accident. There's a better way to get paid a way bigger check without having to go.
While slavery existed in the American colonies through the establishment of the United States as a country until the end of the Civil War, there have been many misconceptions about slavery in general. Most Americans are not aware that there were some black former slaves and freemen who also owned black slaves, and some became very prominent in politics as well, despite the racial prejudice that existed. Some black slave owners inherited their slaves from their masters, who were themselves freed in their wills. Others were either born free or emancipated by their masters and then bought their own slaves, while others were able to buy their own freedom and that of their families. Who were these black slave owners, and how did they attain such a status in a white-dominated society? What set them apart from other blacks, and what made them comparable to whites in some of the colonies and later states? What changed in colonial society, altering the status of indentured servants to lifetime slaves, and why? Who was Anthony Johnson?
Hello, I'm Colin Heaton, former soldier, Marine Corps Scout Sniper, history professor, historian, and book author. And we will answer these questions and other issues on this segment of Forgotten History.
The vast majority of African Americans in the United States were enslaved, in all of the states, not just the South. Our first person of note is Anthony Johnson, who was born in Angola and captured by Portuguese slave traders, and he was given the name Antonio. Then his captors sold him into the Atlantic slave trade. He sailed to Virginia in 1621 aboard the ship James. The Virginia muster, or census, of 1624 lists his name as Antonio, not given, and he was recorded as a Negro in the notes column and indentured. Antonio, later Anthony, was bought by a colonist in Virginia, but treated as an indentured servant, which was not unusual, and Antonio worked for a merchant at the Virginia Company, and he became a Catholic. Johnson was sold as an indentured servant to a white planter named Bennett to work on his Virginia tobacco farm. Technically, he was not a slave, because the slave laws were not passed until 1661 in Virginia, so prior to that date, Africans were not officially considered to be slaves in that colony. According to the records kept by his benefactor and the existing documents, Anthony was nearly killed in the Indian Massacre of 1622 when the Powhatan Indians attacked colonists in the Tidewater region of Virginia. On Good Friday, they raided the settlement, including the Bennett farm, where Antonio worked, and killed 52 of the 57 men present. Antonio apparently fought back and was wounded and earned the esteem of his master. In 1623, a black woman named Mary arrived aboard the ship Margaret and John. She was brought to work on the same plantation as Antonio, where she was the only woman present. Antonio and Mary married and lived together for more than 40 years. Around 1635, Antonio and Mary completed their indentured servitude, and Antonio changed his name to Anthony Johnson. He first entered the legal record as an unindentured free man when he purchased a calf in 1647. During this early period, free blacks enjoyed relative equality with whites, and about 20% of the free blacks in Virginia owned their own homes and property. In 1662, the Virginia colony passed a law that children in the colony were born with the social status of their mother. This meant that the children of slave women were born into slavery, even if their fathers were free, European, Christian, and white. This was a reversal of English common law, which held that the children of English subjects took the status of their father. The Virginia colonial government expressed the opinion that since Africans were not Christians, common law could not and did not apply to them, even if they converted, as Anthony Johnson did. On July 24, 1651, Johnson acquired 250 acres of land under the existing headright system when he bought the contracts of 5 indentured servants, one being his son, Richard Johnson. Under the headright system, if a man were to bring indentured servants over to the colonies, and in this particular case, Johnson brought 5 servants, he was owed 50 acres a head for servant. The land in question was located on the Great Naswata Creek, which flowed into the Punkateague River in Northampton County, Virginia. This was where Anthony Johnson operated his successful tobacco farm. And one of his indentured servants was John Cassor, who became one of the first men to be declared indentured for life, effectively a slave. Under the 1645 Virginia Taxation Act, all Negro men and women and all other men from the age of 16 to 60 shall be judged tithable. So after a fire in 1652 caused him great financial damage to his property, he applied for relief in the courts and won. Back then, people were taxed, not property, but indentured servants and later slaves were taxed as property. It is unclear from the records why the Johnson women were exempted, but the change gave them the same social standing as white women who were not taxed. In the colonies back then, one was judged more on their religion as opposed to race or ethnicity in general. So until the advent of actual legal slavery, upward mobility was possible for many races. During the case, the justices noted that Anthony and Mary Johnson had lived in Virginia for over 30 years and were highly respected in their community. In fact, a 1653 Northampton County Court document lists Mary as Anthony's wife. By the 1650s, Anthony and Mary Johnson were farming 250 acres in Northampton County, while their 2 sons owned 550 acres. They also had additional indentured persons under contract, but the exact numbers are not known. His son, Richard Johnson, also had his own indentured persons, probably given to him by his father, who were effectively slaves with a shelf life. At some point, if contracted, they would have to be set free. In 1854, John Cassor, who had been sentenced to indentured service for life for his escaping a previous owner in 1640, filed a suit against Johnson, claiming his indentured service had expired, and he went to work for Robert and George Parker. Johnson filed a freedom suit to get Cassor back, but Parker won. What is amazing in retrospect was that Johnson, a black man, was not only able to file a petition to the court, but he was able to testify and give evidence in the court, which illustrates the rather egalitarian system in place at that time. However, Johnson appealed to the County Court of Northampton County, Virginia, and the court reversed its ruling and sent Cassor back to Johnson in 1855, and Parker was forced to pay Johnson compensation.
Most men don't know this, but ED medication, it has 2 essential ingredients, and if you're taking either Viagra or
Johnson compensation. Then Cassor made history, as he was probably the first person who was declared slave for life in Virginia. That means that his black owner, Anthony Johnson, was probably the very first slave owner in all of the colonies, himself a black man. There were both black and white indentured servants, the whites being the most Irish of all, who, like the blacks, were also sentenced to lifetime servitude before Cassor's case. The difference was that the whites could eventually purchase their freedom in most cases. Therefore, Anthony Johnson was apparently not only the first African American whose right to own a slave for life was recognized in the colonies, he was therefore technically the first actual legal slave owner, regardless of being black or white, as established by the Virginia court. Soon afterwards, slavery was legal in all of the colonies. Later, Johnson moved his family to Somerset County, Maryland, and leased 300 acres for tobacco farming for 99 years, which he called Torrey's Vineyards. When Anthony Johnson died in 1670, that August, his plantation was given to Robert Parker, not to Johnson's children. The justification delivered by an all-right jury ruled that Anthony's land in Virginia that was given to his sons could be seized because he was a Negro and by consequence an alien. As a result, the 50 acres that Anthony had given to his son Richard wound up in the hands of his wealthy white neighbor George Parker. It didn't matter that Richard, a free man, had lived on the land with his wife and children for 5 years. A judge then had ruled that Anthony Johnson, as he was not a citizen of the colony because he was black, but he did own his own slaves, could maintain his property. What soon arrived after Johnson's death was a system of legal slavery in which enslavement was lifelong, hereditary, and based solely on race, and effectively established in all of the colonies in the beginning of the 18th century. As a result,
They do. But you could tell them Nigerians are descendants of slave traders, y'all, because they whole thing is to go around the world and take over. Yeah,
Shiesty, bro. That's shiesty.
that's their thing. They want to take over the world. They got to try to just conquer in mind. Yes, they do. And they so much of them descendants of them slave traders. And the men trying to drop babies everywhere. Yup.
It's like they take the scorched earth approach. They just leave everything in a mess. And not all of it, I'm not saying, because I don't stereotype for that part, but like the empirical evidence suggests it. I'm just looking at the data. And even when you talk to like a Nigerian, like I got folks at work, I work in HR, but folks at work parallel and peripheral to me in my industry and stuff. And they even look at, they give more favor to the white tea person versus the Black American because they're ingrained in this whole mentality around they're lazy. Oh, and they don't get the benefit of the doubt. So they're thinking already like the colonizer, like the mentality, the colonist mindset. Yeah. They don't even try to think in a different way. So they already have that imperialist. I think they might have been descendants of the enslaved trading things.
They was trading off of.
There you go. There you go. That's because we was all moving around. Like, you know what I mean?
Georgia, South Carolina.
Yep.
Father's father was definitely West Indian. We got that far.
You're going to always find there's a crossover there. Trust me.
Don't know what he said.
All of us got it somewhere.
Indians in Georgia are considered West Indians. South Carolina.
Right. I don't know about none of that stuff, man. I get my information from you guys.
I have a map that shows that Georgia is part of the West Indies, South Carolina, all the way to Virginia, Tennessee.
So if I got West Indian, am I African?
No, you're American.
Thank you. No.
So, thank you. New person on the panel, Knowledge. What's going on? You'd like to add to the conversation?
Well, obviously, there's no topic on board, so.
Oh, we're having a conversation. I thought you were listening and you came in to join in on the conversation. We're just sitting around the campfire right now kicking shit.
Yeah. I just dropped my chair, so I'm trying to get into the rhythm.
Oh, okay. So basically, we're just stating that we are the American.
What's up, TikTok? What's up with my tribe? What's up with my tribal family, my tribal clan? I got some erudition for y'all today, and I hope you're ready. It's dealing with contracts. Oh, and FYI, if you already know this information, I do not need you to comment in the comment section saying duh. A lot of you people just want to be seen and heard. Your comments sometimes are irritating because they're irrelevant. It has nothing to do with what I'm showing the people that don't know. Alright, stay tuned. Alright, and here we have contract law. This is a very short list of the core principles of contract law. Keep in mind, these principles are essential when it comes to contracting with anyone. Any entity. These core principles are essential. Number one, you have the offer. You have a party offering you something. Let's say you have a financial corporation or financial institution that's offering you a promissory note for your mortgage. And in the same manner, if you're trying to purchase a home, you will give the person an offer letter. Number two, acceptance. The person person or the other party has to agree to the terms and conditions to the contract. Number 3, consideration. Consideration is what you will say, something tangible. You need something tangible for an exchange. Then you have number 4, the intention. The intention to be like basically a little bit of the meat and potatoes to the contract, which binds you together. Your rules and regulations to the contract. Then you have number 5, the capacity, where it said parties must have the legal ability to contract, which simply means that you have to understand the rules, regulations, terms, and conditions to this contract. You have to be able to comprehend the whole contract. If you do not comprehend the whole contract, you are not, I repeat, you are not capable of contracting in your right mind. So that means it will be void if you don't understand. Most people don't understand contracts. Some people are forced to sign or feel forced to sign, coerced, threatened, or extorted. If you do not understand or overstand the language in any contract, you are not supposed to sign that contract. If you are forced to sign it, it is void from the beginning. Number 6, it says the subject of the contract must be lawful. So that means anything within the contract has to be within the laws on the land. Anything within.
Like I said, that's how we're gonna get penetrated. Okay? That boule got you penetrated. Christ itself. The guys and goddesses. Alright, so you gotta flush yourself. You gotta Christ itself. The guys and goddesses. Alright, so you gotta flush yourself. You gotta and drop the Lululemon. Talk about drop the Lululemon. Nah, no cap. But this for everybody, shit. You know how simple it is, shit. You know. But yeah, it ain't no game of cap. But this for everybody, shit. You know how simple it is, shit. You know. But yeah, it ain't no game, man. People got to shake this shit off so we can remember. But yeah, it ain't no game, man. People got to shake this shit off.
Tribe in Ethiopia.
You're both Oromos.
Which tribe in Ethiopia is this guy? King, full black.
Not live the tribe. You know not to live that tribe?
Not to live that.
Look at that, nigga.
You speak like a black man. I'm sure you are born in America, but it's okay. We accept the diaspora, you know?
So you're a Oromo, huh?
Diaspora, so no problem. Wherever you're from.
You my people, brother.
Okay. Nanti Amara, what you say, bro?
Shut the fuck up.
No.
Shermuda.
Malam. 1 minute.
Like Guji or one of the other tribes, but I don't think it's Amara.
No.
You think our grandparents didn't tell us about everything that went on? You think that our grandparents didn't inform us of what was the, play back in the day, and how if you... It kills me when people are always talking about doing DNA tests. When are y'all going to do the blood test? When are you going to... You think our grandparents
Girl, and you feel like you don't have. You would think that's their only culture. I told you, red dress for Polly and friends. Now y'all all marry y'all cousins. Y'all what in the Pillsbury?
Fucking Mexico right now.
That's not true. People we are still going on vacation to Cabo.
No, I'm saying the American.
Y'all don't need our money.
You know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about.
No, because if we cross the border, I'm pretty sure
I'm talking about the people. I'm talking about the people. I'm talking about the white. I'm talking about the I'm talking about the Edomites. I'm talking about the Edomites.
White, we're black.
I'm talking about the Edomites. I'm not talking about the brown people, the black people. I'm talking about the Edomites, the white people. It's a no-fly zone for them right now. They gotta flee Mexico. They put a big ass banner. Look it up. Look up, go on Google right now. The cartel, motherfucking cartel put a big ass banner in Sinaloa threatening Donald Trump, the president from Mexico, and every American in the United States that lives here and in Mexico that they control the streets. And let me tell you, I've been here, they do control the streets. Man, you think them people is not motherfucking, them people are not playing. When I'm telling you, what I tell you, when they say something, they mean it. They're not gonna sit here and politic. They're not gonna sit here and politic.
I grew up in Houston, Texas. You grew up in Chicago. I grew up around the cartels and MS-13.
Them people
Ain't
run the
nobody
streets.
scared of a Mexican with a machete. Ain't nobody scared of a Mexican or El Salvador.
People run the streets.
Let me tell you something.
People run the streets.
Y'all like to always point out black American crimes when we already know that y'all are the most violent. Y'all act just like the Europeans, the Africans, and every other third world country. Y'all over there chopping up people and y'all showing it on social media. Y'all over there doing some of the most craziest things, and then y'all come to the United States and act like y'all civilized. Y'all not civilized. Y'all come from that third world country, and all you have to do is swim over to see it. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all, we're not afraid of the cartel when the cartel already got houses and mansions in the United States, been in the United States government. Goddamn it, the United States do business with the cartel, been doing business with the cartel.
I'm not going to Mexico right now.
So I just want to highlight as well that, I know someone said, I know the host said don't read the comments, but there is literally someone that is like threatening to like, hey, meet us outside. It's a girl too. Meet us outside and this and that. And I'm just like, I think that that's laughable. I think that that's laughable. And I also think that it's very telling of your,
who is she?
Hold on, Chicago. I think that it's very laughable and telling of your barbaric and degenerate behavior, ma'am. If you like, that's the reason why I feel like we need to extremely vet these people that are coming into our country. When you have the privilege to leave your country and go to another country, you best be on your best behavior. You best be on your best behavior. You better come here and be a straight A star,
but you know what?
A golden. So hold on.
It wasn't the Mexicans. It was the Venezuelans. Because when the Venezuelans started coming over here, they started doing a whole bunch of crazy shit.
Salvador, if they South Americans, I live in Houston, Texas. So
Venezuela?
Because there's not a lot of them in the north. Y'all got a lot of other foreigners in the north. But down here in the south, in Houston, Texas, we have Mexicans. We have El Salvador, and you better not get them confused. I grew up with these people. So they used, in middle school, they was 21 years old walking around with a machete in the 8th grade. Y'all know I'm telling the truth.
That's Mexico for you.
Again, but Chicago, I still don't understand how you got people, Mexican people in the streets, literally toe to toe with our armed forces, but they will not do that to the cartel. Like, come on now, it don't.
Because they all work hand in hand together, the government and the cartel.
Okay, but if you could go toe to toe in the streets of my country,
how do you think them people in Mexico are getting them arms? The United States is giving it to them.
You are in the streets going toe to toe.
Mexico does not have a.
Why are they not fighting the cartel back?
Has a drug problem.
Mexico do got a DRUG problem. What the hell? Your mama's on crack rock. Your daddy is an alcoholic and sleeping with men. Y'all don't have a DRUG. You's a liar. A Mexican taught me how to play chess. What are you talking about?
Hey, put up that motherfucking wall. Put up that motherfucking wall. I bet you all Americans start jumping that wall for the heroin and that cocaine. Stop fucking playing with me. They'll start jumping that wall.
That's be Mexican, sweetheart. That's your jealousy. That's why y'all don't have no billionaires in the United States. Hold on. Let's get to the facts.
What do you think?
That's why y'all not
Black people get
That
the
is
crack
why y'all not successful when y'all on welfare.
Where do you fucking think black people get the crack from?
That's why y'all not successful and y'all
Where do you think black people get the crack? Where do you think black people get the crack from?
Chicago.
Where do you think black?
Hold on.
No, you Mexican. You webcast.
Hold on, Chicago. Yeah, Chicago. I just want to highlight as well that you could talk about DRUG all you want to. Let's talk about how the Mexican men have an affinity for little girls, and that plagues your community. That plagues your community. That plagues your community. I work in the criminal justice system, and I see every day old Mexican men touching on their own daughters, the grandfathers touching on their own granddaughters. That is an issue. That's the issue.
Race. Shut up.
No, that is not in every race. That is in your race.
Yes, it is.
That is in your race.
No, don't justify it.
That is in your race.
No, that is your race. You're trying to justify it.
No.
Hold on. When they crossing the border, the little girls gotta make sure that they be on birth control because they know they finna get raped. You know what you need to go to? Go talk. If it ain't you being the perv, you need to go talk to the little boys and little girls who cross the border. And when ICE come up, the parents be right there, and they don't even stand up for their own kids. Y'all are some pitiful individuals.
The mother
y'all come over here
with the
wearing
father,
church
knowing that
dresses
the father is touching
wedding
the
dresses
baby.
to the laundromat with flip flops. Y'all are the different kind of African descent. Y'all still practice y'all African, European, and yet y'all speak Spanish, and y'all be like, y'all speak y'all native language. You speak Spanish and never been to Spain. The Spaniards is still controlling Mexico to today. And yet you over here, Viva la Mexico in the United States. Well, how about this? You go Viva la Mexico in Mexico because they are over there protesting and deporting other people out of their land. You came over here illegally. First you said you was born, then you said you came over here at 2 years old. I wasn't going to call you out because the host was vibing with you.
If you paid attention.
I told you.
If you paid attention,
you was still over here illegally because I doubt it seriously if your criminal ass went into the legal way and got your papers. Your mama was illegal. You was illegal. I listened to you.
Yeah. Hey, look. I was letting them talk for a reason. Go ahead. No, go ahead, Wolfie. I caught everything he was saying, but that's why I like letting them talk. Because they be catching themselves up.
Yup, and they be dropping their children off at the border and leave them there by themselves.
I don't expect anything less from them. They will literally have their children out in the streets. And have y'all ever, I live in Southern California. I've driven across the border. You will literally drive across when you coming back from across the border, and you gotta sit at the border to be able to let in. There is literally thousands of little kids with no parents around walking up and down in between the cars, and you just be like, yo, where are these people's parents at?
Crazy work.
Didn't I just say if I cross Mexico border, it ain't gonna be a little girl running up to me trying to twist a little band or something around my hand?
It's crazy.
Yes.
How can you leave your children like that?
But they be so cute. They just grab your hand and they tie something in their ass money.
How can you leave your children like that? I don't understand that. What type of love do you have for your children to drop them off at the border and you leave?
Listen, the difference between me and y'all is that if I ever go to Mexico and they tell me to leave, I will say gladly. And I will leave. I don't need to camp out in someone's country that don't want me there because I'm a guest. That's the issue, that y'all don't got no home training. Y'all going home is a punishment to y'all. Going home is a privilege to I gladly go home.
Rick.
I dropped him and blocked him because y'all ain't hear him what he said.
Cool.
He just said he was reporting and blocking. I've been blocking everybody from
Thank
Montreal.
you.
I'm talking about Chicago, what's his face, because they the ones keep doing that. You see all these Mexicans just popped up in here.
Yeah.
He just said it while Mara was talking. That's why I'm reporting y'all right now.
Yeah.
So I just blocked them and dropped them. He's not doing that.
Thank you so much, sis. I appreciate you. Please block their ass. Because we ain't over here being racist, man. We just haven't.
But you see how it changed? I just said that
Yeah.
they come up here speaking overly doing Ebonics, and then you see how it changed. Then he had his accent back. And I'm gonna report you guys like you whining.
Yeah, hey, y'all make sure.
In the ink. I'm glad you seen that and called it.
Yep.
Because
I said
it. And then, baby, and I'm just sitting here listening, and I'm like, okay. He said he was born over here. Then he said his mama came over here, and then she brought him over here too. They kept,
Yeah.
Then he said that he voted for Trump, which he's an illegal immigrant. He's an illegal immigrant, and said that he want people who came over here illegal deported just like him. How can we stand with someone like that?
Didn't he call his mother a stupid ass or something like that?
Yes, how can we stand with someone like that?
Oh my God, I didn't hear that.
Yeah,
he said something like that.
He voted for
Yeah.
He voted for his
He
people.
kept calling his mama stupid.
Yeah, stupid ass.
Hey, look, he voted for his people to be deported. Like I said, they got their own divide going on, and then they come ask us for help. That's just kind of crazy. See, my thing is, I be asking people questions for a reason. Because, see, while he was talking, y'all was getting a lot of information about him. Deacon, you there?
I'm here.
What's up? Where you from?
I'm from New York, but live in PA right now.
You from New York? You
yes,
born and
sir.
raised in New York?
Yes, sir.
You Caribbean?
Nope.
African?
Nope.
What's your ethnicity?
All American. All American, black American.
Alrighty, another one. Okay. You want to chime in? Or you want to address the prompt?
Well, actually, I was listening from earlier when y'all had King on here.
Oh, yeah, I did see you up there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to get in when he was talking. Where to start?
Hold on. I just had to. Hey, look, Ink. I just blocked him because I guess he was down in the comments just doing the most. I don't know what he was just doing, but something just popped up on my screen. But I just blocked him.
I told you they mass blocking. It's a bunch of Mexicans in here. Just Wolfie too. You a moderator. Just start blocking these Mexicans. That's what they on right now.
Yeah, if you could, please block them in the comments.
And they dropping a bunch of racist and words that's gonna get TikTok to flag it because I keep saying it.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Yeah. Anybody in the comments being racist? Yeah. Matter of fact, y'all continue. I'm about to put in some keywords to keep them out of the chat. Matter of fact, what? God damn it. Here, hold on. Go ahead, y'all.
And when you say words constantly, if you know.
Yeah, Deacon, go ahead. I'm finna handle it.
Spread it out. Go, Mr. G. Go, Mr. G.
There's a little something about an OG like me. East Side, Rub City, East 21st Street. Yeah, there's a little something about an OG like me. Got the mind of a genius, but I'm straight from the streets. Yeah. First thing I like to say is rest in peace, Pokey. Heard a lot about me, baby. You don't really know me, no. Talk a lot of this and that, but boy, you gotta show me. I ain't looking for nobody. Pay me if you owe me. Make a lot of sense. Everybody gotta listen. Rock with Donald Trump. Why? Cause I'm a politician.
I have no parts of nothing. You ain't something about being pro-black. And the last administration did more for illegal immigration and the rainbow community than they did for anybody here in American land.
Reported me.
That's what I see.
Who just got reported?
It was me. I had to drop and come back up.
They owned it. I told you they in the comments.
Yeah, I just turned the comments off because they trying to get
these people crazy.
Took down. I had to turn off the comments because they trying to get us took down, y'all. I got to put in the keywords. What?
It's okay. This is how we do this. It's like certain words that you constantly say, like back to back, is gonna be.
Spell it.
You would think that's their only culture.
those rituals. So eventually he was brought back to South Africa, and the things he was dropping about the things he was seeing there, apparently they wanted him to have sex with a snake. They wanted him to what's this? There was some party where men were sleeping with men, amongst other things. But he's back now in South Africa.
Heavy in Nigerians. They into that. That's why they love Atlanta. Yeah. That's why they love Atlanta.
So he's back home now.
Oh, that's
he was
good.
in Nigeria. Yeah, we helped him get back. We helped him get back because he didn't know what he was going there to do, and at least he didn't even fall into whatever they were trying to make him to do. That's why we helped him.
You know what's crazy that you said something about their rituals? Because my brother used to hang with one here in Philadelphia, and my brother is into all kind of stuff. He got locked up for unaliving somebody, and his friend would tell my mom, "Oh, well, if you send some money, we can get something to do some ritual." Well, I was like, "Don't fall for that bullshit he talking about." But he was talking that BS.
You guys remember those kids
trying to play on her heartstrings?
Yeah. Ain't like my brother
ever go to the dark side. You don't know what you're gonna find that side. You don't know if you're gonna be able to come back.
Yeah.
Turn left.
That is crazy.
Yeah, but them Nigerians are not to be trusted. That's why people think they smart, because they really witty. You know what I mean? Because that's all they think is, all they do is scam. Hey, Tay, was that you talking about that farmhouse that they found in Nigeria when they tracked them people down, that troll place that they was at?
Wait, what? What'd I say?
Was that you that was saying they had? I was looking into that, but when CNN, they tracked them people down all the way into Nigeria, and they was on the internet. They was like some bot thing. They was getting paid.
Yeah. We was on the panel together. It wasn't my panel. We was on somebody panel, and they showed us. It was a deep dive. One of them investigative journalism pieces, and they deep dove into, the fake pages and stuff, especially around the election, and how they were paying Africans to run them fake pages and antagonize us. Yeah, that's on Foundational. He the one brought that up. Yes, that's where it was, Toy. We was on Marshall.
Okay. I was like, I've been looking at it like, that is crazy.
And stop trying to fight. Mom must stop trying to fight my brothers, because he was attacking them when they kept saying they have every right to.
Seen or unseen.
Oh Lord.
They got a whole bunch of.
I'm really confused.
For real.
Apart from physical evidence, if I may say.
Apart from physical evidence, what?
Okay, let's start with the fact that you can't witness spirituality while living in a physical realm. Hence,
that's not true. That's not true. You're wrong again.
May I finish?
Boy, you so lost. Okay.
Yeah, but may I finish? Maybe I'll get my head out the rabbit hole if I get to finish. So like I was saying, spirituality, you can't witness that in the physical realm. Hence, that science is the burden of proof of spirituality. Neuroscience, if I may say.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my study.
We're not Africans, though.
That's it. That's all.
I'm not calling anyone African. Don't get me wrong. I'm just claiming that. I think that